And you know what? Forget about the numbers on the bottom. This is a classic matchup between two powerhouse surfers, Carissa Moore, Brisa Hennessy. These two have been going at it for years and years, and anytime they match up, we're in for something special. Oh, saved by the bell. Brisa Hennessy is going to open this one up. Now, Brisa, I did say forget the numbers, but going back to number 22, I mean, that is not indicative of
waves of the event. So she, right here, in a very present moment, is feeling that sort of glow.
Quick snap to start this wave. Brisa Hennessy, foam climb, gives her plenty of speed. There it is, the money turn from Brisa Hennessy. They're just good, tidy, clean surfing. On rail. Looking for the finish. Wave dives out beneath her feet.
And you can take that confidence and almost take their confidence as you move forward through the event. Really bumpy, lumpy wave. Brisa did a great job of just making the most of what actually was being offered on this wave. Her board looks electric. It is different than yesterday. I'm not sure if that's bigger or smaller, but kind of interesting to note that she wouldn't take out the same board. But look,
when the lucky suit goes on, watch out for Luana Silva.
Yeah, it strikes fear in the eyes of the competitors.
Now Carissa Moore, first wave ridden, 24-24 to go. Just slams it. Back-to-back turns there, but the wave has nothing else for her, so she is out, and she's going to use that priority quickly. Nice bowl on this one to start. Just beautiful bottom turn, slidey snap. Extra flare on the end of that carve. She's got a good closeout section to work with. Has to stay on her feet. Nicely done. Matching the power of Punta Roca there for Brisa Hennessy. So
this is the turn I'm talking about here. Brisa takes a conventional carve and throws a little bit extra spice on it, and it looks really good. So here she does just really well to stay in front of that as it's converging water behind her, and she rides out clean.
When you don't go and ask him if your board's done yet, he's working right now. He's watching Carissa Moore. He's probably watching every nuance and detail of the water coming off the rails of her board, how it's sliding down the line. Not an easy wave to surf, but this is Carissa Moore we're talking about. Third turn completed. It's a good little bonus inside section here. Goes vertical on her forehand. Vertical foam climb. That is a unique trick name to surfing. I don't know.
For us, we're not having to contrast a goofy foot versus a regular foot. We can say, hey, they're both on rail. They're both carving into the pocket. This, to me, was a patchwork of really interesting maneuvers. Carissa did great with this ride. I just don't know ultimately if she's going to be relying on this score at the end of the day. It grew with some intensity. She did good, got vertical there. But as we see,
that you mentioned foam so much. And right behind her, Brisa Hennessy, big snap to start. This wave's looking good. It's speeding off down the line, patiently waiting. Big closeout slam. So probably a familiar feeling now as Brisa Hennessy, Carissa Moore has to give way to Brisa Hennessy. We'll see if she can make her pay. Nice opening snap. Comes around the section with the quickness. Hard carve. Gets over the lump. Pushing down the line, strong finish. Wow, that wave was like the first bite of a fresh pupusa, just fiery hot. And she was able to intimidate the champ right there.
Again, that word cadence, it's so hard to find in these kinds of conditions, and she did great in the back part of this wave here to get up and into that, and had a good spike of spray coming off the back, and it's looking really good.
Ooh,
as we see Carissa here. Wow, what was that about?
It happens to the best of the best. So we'll see if she can regain composure on this wave. If it offers her something through the inside section, carves back into the whitewater. So, just cleaning up after that opening slip. Again, that wave just felt very similar to the 393, to the 430. The waves that Carissa's put herself on are just, I feel like they're harder to surf than the waves that Brisa's been riding. So Brisa, the 533 and a 487. Board looks really fun to ride. What happened here, Tanner?
So that's really interesting. I mean, great job to stay on your board. I don't know why that bobble would have occurred. I think you're nailing it here, Chris. Carissa is not making it easier on herself with her wave selection. She's surfing incredible. Her body language is great. This last turn, she does great. Like I said, get into the bottom turn and create the space so she can create a flare on the lip. That's not just a one and done sort of ending turn. She did put personality into that. And look, that speaks to the water texture that we've been dealing with these last couple of days. It's like a sea breeze that is really hard to deal with at times. So Carissa got bobbled off but pulled it somehow.
And what do you think of the decision to just keep going on this wave after that slip on the start?
That's a super good question. To be honest, 50-50 shot. I'm not looking down the line, and she must have seen this section and knew she was going to have to deliver something really large, which she did.
That was cool.
She kind of hung the entire merit of the score on that final crescendo maneuver. What you're trying to create is confidence, and what makes you feel good gives you the self-esteem to then relax and do your best surfing.
Or you can just be Carissa Moore and be incredible on every single wave, no matter what it looks like. She is flying down the line on this one. Now that is the Carissa Moore wrap we've come to love over the years. Finishing with a couple quick snaps here. And, I mean, that's why.
Wow.
That's why, folks. Carissa Moore on that wave looked at least easier to ride than the previous few that she's had. And she definitely capitalized on everything that wave had to offer. That leaves Brisa out the back with priority.
So let's walk through this replay. There's a couple points I want to bring up. She has just a huge bag of frontside maneuvers that she's tapping into. These two turns, even though they're not major, it sets her up perfectly for a wrap. And then this turn right here is epic. She does a sweet little carve that creates a space into this last turn and delivers with variety. On every single turn, they were slightly different. So, like you said, Chris, but she did the best with it.
When here we go again, Brisa Hennessy on a bigger, better wave. And that section was just calling to be punched, and she did it. Now it gets a little weird. She's got to get a big, strong finish to make it abundantly clear to the judges that she is going to deserve and earn a big number. I mean, just judging from that first carve that we saw alone,
I was
trying to figure this out.
Brisa Hennessy is here for the fun. This first turn is something that we haven't seen. That's radical.
It was better than the other turn that she did to get that 5.33.
Yes, hangs it so perfectly. So for her right here, she's looking to just solidify. She knows she's already onto a good score. That turn is pretty dynamic, and she makes it happen on that third one. Again, we've spoken a little bit about her rides. They're so big in the beginning, and they kind of peter off at the end. But the scores have been indicative that they like these kinds of maneuvers. They like her putting it on the line when it means the most. That board looks really good under her feet.
I'm getting pink and blue rails on my next board.
Yeah.
That's it.
So
I've decided.
I was trying to describe it with words earlier, and I couldn't. That first turn is what I believe makes Brisa Hennessy a unique entity on tour. There's power, it's like a carve, but then she's able to slap onto the wave face and create.
Grade 3, she's now looking for a 5.34. She's got to hope for something special to happen to this wave. I mean, a couple quick snaps to start, and it just kind of, well, don't give up on her just yet. Flying down the line, it's growing a little bit. You can tell she's hunting a ramp. Will it appear? Will we see the fins fly? She does.
What?
Can she ride out?
Oh,
Get
my
up.
goodness.
Oh, Carissa Moore with the front three. Could it be a buzzer beater? We haven't seen an air like that yet today.
Oh, my goodness. Chris, you called that. You were calling her air game early in this heat. She's put on the blocks right there.
Oh, my
You're
goodness.
10 seconds left. That wave is not offering you much. What are you going to do?
Well, I bet I mean,
that's insane.
Back to the judging conversation, right? So we've been watching power surfing through the entire event. We've been watching Carissa make a lot out of a little. Same wave right there. That wave was so hard to surf. But this is Carissa Moore we're talking about.
Yes.
And I said, don't give up on her. I almost did. The wave looked like it got really weird. And then a potential miracle happened.
Arguably, you could say she rode this from the beginning because she kind of had to.
She's coming in.
Yeah, there's 10 seconds left. There doesn't look like there is much on offer here. And then she starts to get the speed going. And you see her eyeing off this section. And now it's a change in the body language. She knows what she has to do, and she delivers. That's super hard to do in air after that much extension and pumping.
Tail high, too.
Wow.
That's what makes her magic. That was not an easy section either. And so, so we're looking at, is it a make? Now we have to think about that. I mean, she did all the hard work. If that was a video part or a photo in the magazine, you'd say make all day, but we have to meticulously look. So we did see the nose of her board right there pop through white water. This is where...
I'm giving that a make.
This is where the judges are going to earn it, because that's kind of right on the edge.
Either way, I'm loving the effort. She's reminding us right now why she is Carissa Moore. She's competing like a world champion. That was a very tricky situation to be in.
She gave us a little more, didn't she? Sorry about that one.
Wow. This is insane.
She did what we asked, right?
What
we wanted to see fireworks. She provided. But give it up to Brisa Hennessy. I mean, power surfing all the way through. She got some really good waves. Be careful. That board is so beautiful. Coming on those rocks is sketch. Here comes the score to drop. Looking for a 5, 3, 4. And she gets it.
Wow.
I didn't get the
We're listening in to the voice of Ixa, one of our technical beach announcers, loud and clear. The score was enough. And I mean, the judges had to, right? That was the most radical maneuver that we saw in the event. We saw power surfing, we saw big slides from Brisa, but when you throw the tail high in the air like that, she fought. See the nose.
I mean, what a great heat. Carissa fought the entire heat. She was somewhat behind Brisa for most of that heat. For her to be put on the blocks like that, come up with her biggest maneuver of the event to get the score just barely, and get the advancement, that is insane.
Thank you. I did just enough. I'm sorry, I was waiting, but can I go get my hat
just real quick though, just the reaction right there. You get the score right at the end, especially needing a section. You got it. You threw the air. What was it like?
Oh my gosh, I'm just so happy. I think I knew. I heard this. I didn't know what Brisa got, and I was in the lead, and then they announced her score, and I was like, "There's less than a minute left, and I need a score." There wasn't much, and I'm like, "Okay, this is my last chance." And it was so small in the beginning. I'm like, "Okay, I got to do something big if I want this score." So there was really no losing for me. It was, if I go out, I go out swinging. All
right, we'll talk to you in a bit. Go get some rest, guys. What an amazing one.
Thank you so much.
That was an epic finish. I mean, leaving us all on the edge of our seats. Carissa Moore just gets the edge over Brisa Hennessy. You got to feel for Brisa right now. She surfed such a great heat. But guess what? There's more to come, surf fans. Molly Picklum, Sally Fitzgibbons coming up next. We're going to bring Joe and Strider into the booth. More radical surfing coming right up. Stay tuned.